If you think that you incarnated on this earth to suffer through decades of spiritual practice, to watch a million videos about non-duality, to force yourself to meditate for hours a day, simply to experience some crowning moment at the end of your life 80 years from now in which you magically get enlightened and everything before it makes sense, well, I have good news for you. Enlightenment is not the goal of spirituality. And I understand that that is bound to ruffle some feathers, but the truth is that enlightenment is just as much a concept as anything else. And even if there is a genuine experience that is associated with that concept, the minute that you put yourself in some journey to enlightenment, all you're doing is holding enlightenment in front of you like a carrot on a stick. And like a dog chasing its tail, you will find yourself going around in circles and circles and circles, frustrated why you can't get anything more than just a mere glimpse into the home that you've never left. And that's the key word there. You've never left home. You've never stopped being who you are. You could walk 1,000,000 miles and the life, the being, the pure spirit that is your very nature would be right alongside you for the entire journey. So why are you putting a timeline on something that's inevitable? Why are you forcing yourself to constrict so much, to fit your body, your mind, and your heart into this imagination of what an enlightened being looks like, just so that you can see your life as worth living? You didn't just come here to awaken. You came here to forget. You came here to experience what it's like to genuinely believe that all you are is a finite being limited to the confines of a fleshy human body. Because that very forgetting is the catalyst that allows you to experience so many different colorations of your being that you simply would not get the chance to experience if you knew from the get-go that all you were was pure spirit. Imagine how much richer life is when you embrace it fully, both the unconsciousness and the consciousness. Imagine how much simpler it can all be if you just forgive yourself exactly as you are right now. No matter your so-called shadows, no matter how spiritual you are, no matter what your embodiment looks like, it doesn't matter because all of it is made of the very same substance. That's what true enlightenment is in the first place. The recognition that it's impossible not to be enlightened. The recognition in the mind, the heart, and the body that you have never stopped being yourself. That there is nothing that you need to run away or hide from about who you are, because who you are is nothing but unconditional love. And if it's true that who you are is nothing but unconditional love, then why are you only loving yourself when you feel like you're acting spiritual enough to be good enough? You know what I mean? It's crazy when you really think about it, right? Just make a cup of coffee. Go outside and hug a tree. Tell your friend you love them. Make eye contact with a complete stranger and really see them in that moment. And don't feel the need to frame any of it in a so-called spiritual context. Just enjoy it exactly how it is. Because that is just as spiritual, if not more spiritual, than all of the meditation practices, all of the different positions that you can sit in. You know what I mean? Like, it's all the same stuff. There's no need to force it. I mean, look around. Like, I am surrounded by this landscape that is made of nothing but complete and utter beauty. And this tree right here with all these little carvings on it, it's not telling me that I'm not spiritual enough. The flies that are circling around my head, you can't see them on camera, but they're there. They're not telling me that I need to meditate more. They're seeing me exactly as I am. Nature is neutrality. It is euphoric neutrality. It is loving neutrality. Nature is a warm hug from the universe. So be like nature. When water is flowing down a river, right, and it runs into a rock, it doesn't get mad at itself for running into the rock. It doesn't try to force the rock out of the way. It just does what it knows how to do. It keeps flowing like water does. And eventually, on its own, through the very rhythm of the water flowing, the rock begins to erode. Likewise, when you see all of your shadows, when you see all of your perceived obstacles to enlightenment, you don't need to get mad at yourself that those are there. You don't need to take them as a sign that you're any more or less spiritual than anybody else. And the same goes for those glimpses, by the way. Just keep doing what you always do. Doing your best to love yourself, to forgive yourself. It's not complicated at all. It is the simplest thing in the world. It is the one thing that you know better than anything else. And don't let any teaching, any guru, don't let your own mind tell you differently. Because that is what is keeping you trapped. The belief that you have to escape some trap. It's quite a paradox, isn't it? But it's a beautiful paradox. Enlightenment is divine laziness. Enlightenment is the recognition that you've never strayed a single inch from yourself. By forgiving yourself, by loving yourself, you free yourself. And by freeing yourself, you free the world. Man. I have a website, truthineverything.org. It's linked in my About page. I do tarot readings, one-on-one calls, and written inquiries. And I'm also working on designing some online courses. So it's a whole hootenanny of fun things. Okay. Thank you so much.